The other nice part about looking at this visually is, again, we get a lot of detail very, very quickly, and it's consistent. So when we're talking about relationships, connectivity, and cardinality, the relationship's nothing new. You've seen how we've done relationships using connectivity, using these lines right here, on how we can demonstrate a one-to-one relationship, one-to-many relationship, many-to-many relationships. Okay. But we're adding cardinality. So how does that look? So these are not related, so I want to make sure this is perfectly clear. So in the relationship portion, we have one, I think her name is Lena, that's going to be creating or has created a bunch of invoices. So we're going to have a one-to-many, and we're using her key, really a foreign key on this one, to match up how we are going to tell how many invoices that she's done. So notice the table says foreign key, and we have a foreign key over here, which is none, primary table. Okay, so that's our one-to-many. So what are we adding with connectivity and cardinality? So the connectivity hasn't changed. The only interesting part is we're going to start getting into a little bit more marks and some items that are being highlighted right now because I can't pinpoint it exactly. So we'll get into that here in a moment. But the cardinality is the more interesting part about this. So if I were to go this way, if I'm going to go from professor to class, the cardinality is going to tell me the minimum and the maximum of the entity's occurrence in that particular table. So notice I'm going from professor to class, going this way. Now already it's going to tell me a one-to-many from just using the little bit of drawing there and a little bit of some marks that we had before. But it's going to tell me that exactly that the professor is going to teach from 1 to 4 classes. So I personally this semester am teaching 4 classes. I got some slackers that barely teach 1. But anyway, so that is what a professor is going to do when they're doing from the professor teaches the classes. Now, there's meaning the other way around too, and that's what interesting part about that the participation is back and forth when we get into relationships. So that means the class is going to have, the class is going to be taught by 1 professor minimally and 1 professor maximally. Maximally? Is that a word? Maximum. So that means only 1 professor per class. Notice how one stupid drawing has a lot of details with it. And that's, again, hey, when you get used to it, that's pretty quick and easy to figure out what's going on behind the scenes. Visually, which most of us understand better than text. And can you imagine all of these in a whole bunch of big table that's going to be all around? You're going to need simplicity. And that's what we're trying to do with cardinality and connectivity.